Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Flow Dynamics. In the last video, we have seen the matrix class and written a simple C++ program to define a fixed size matrices. Today we are going to explore more about the Eigen class. So let's get started. The first one, we will see the vectors. Vectors are essentially a special case of matrices. They can have either one row or one column. Depends on whether it's a column vector or a row vector. If you want to define a column vector, you set the number of column parameter to 1 and adjust the number of rows parameter according to your need. Similarly, you can define a row vector. In place of rows at a compile time parameter, you set it to 1 and adjust the number of column as per the computational needs. Now, sometime we might not know the exact number of columns and number of rows at a compile time. That's when template parameters rows at a compile time and rows at a column time comes in handy. You can set these parameters to a special value called dynamic, which creates a dynamic size matrices. So here the capital X represents the dynamic size matrices. Similarly, you can have the dynamic size vectors. You can perfectly have either the row or the column as a dynamic, adapting to your computational needs. Okay, now let's write a simple C++ program to define vectors using Eigen library. So we will create column vector using different methodologies. The first one is the matrix template and the second one will use a constructor. So let's write here comment method is matrix template. Okay, let's define a matrix and it needs 3 template parameters. The first one is the scalar type. So let's say we need a column vector with scalar type of float, and then number of rows 1 and number of column obviously 1 for column vector, and we can give it a name vec a, and then we can also initialize it with some arbitrary numbers. So let's say 1 2 3, and we can then print it out to the console. So let's say vector a will be vec a. Okay, before compiling, let's write using constructor method. So now for a column vector, constructor will be vector and 3f. Say we need 3 rows with scalar type of floats, and we can give it a name vector b, and also we can initialize it with some arbitrary numbers. Okay, also let's make a print it out vector b vec b. Okay, everything looks good. Let's compile it and see what will be the output. So I am using source. So I have given new name here, Eigen example2, and example2 will be the out file. So let's compile it. So it got compiled. Now run it. So here we see we got a column vector with element. The first one, vector A, is 1 2 3, and vector B is 4 5 6, and that's correct. So now let's create row vectors now with the same methods. So first let's use matrix template. So say we need now a row vector, so scalar type of float, and now this is a row vector, so the row number entry will be 1, and now the column you can adjust according to your computational need. For example, say 3, and then we can name it vec r, and let's initialize it. So 1 So let's give it a different name. So like 2.1, 3.2, 4.1. Okay, and then print it out. Using matrix template. So it's vec r. Okay, let's compile it and see the output. Okay, let's source it again. Okay, there is some problem with this method. Okay, so there is an extra dot over here. So let's delete it and recompile it. Okay, it got compiled. Let's see the output. So now see, here you can see the row vector 2.1, 3.2 and 4.1. So it looks correct. Now let's use constructor method for the row vectors. So let's edit the same file and we will go down here and let's say we define here. Now let's say for row vector the constructor is a row vector 3f. So it will create a row vector of with the element 3 and with the scalar type of float. So there will be 3 columns for this one. So let's define it vector r1 and let's initialize it with some numbers. Let's say 5.1, 6.2 and 9.1, and let's print it out to the console. So row vector using constructor, and then row vector vec r1. So let's compile it and we'll see the output. Okay, it got compiled. So now see, with both the method using matrix template and using constructor, we have successfully defined the row vectors. Okay, so in this video we have seen how to define row and a column vectors in C++ using Eigen. We used 2 different methods. One is matrix template and other is constructor. So if you find it helpful, please like and share the video. Thank you.